All right, we're back with more right here at 412-575-2600. The Borders and Borders hotline is for you to call. Bob Pompeani, Andrew Fillipponi. Let's get right to it. We'll start with Dishner in West Deer Township. What's up, Dishner? Hello, Dishner. Are you there? We got no dish?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Oh, he is there. Go ahead, Dishner.
All right. I want to say, looking from former Pittsburgh teams, it goes from hockey to NHL. I mean, obviously, in football, Pirates. I mean, do you guys ever see a future Hall of Famer coming out of this city again within the next future years?
Are you talking? No, I mean, you're going to discount guys like Crosby and Malkin, obviously, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, no, I'm saying, like, there is a lot of future ones coming up. I'm talking about the past and the present. I mean, but after that, I mean, I don't see anybody up and coming at this point. I'm just like, you see, like, it's going to be a long time until this.
I mean, you don't know how that's going to play out, Dishner. You just don't. I mean, a guy like Najee Harris could come in and play well and put up numbers that make you think that, you know, if he stays around, you know, although with
4 years from him? 4 years from him?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know what you're basing it on. It's easy to say nobody looks like they're going to be that way. Who knows? There's a lot of rookies coming in. It's hard to tell. I know this, that if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, and thank you for the call, Andrew, that I'm going to run that guy until the wheels come off. That's what Mike Tomlin once said. And I don't worry about one contract after another. I worry about this contract. I get as much out of him as I can get, and I move on from him if I have to. Or if I feel he still can do it, you know, keep him here. But to me, he's going to get a lot of work right off the bat.
Well, but even that second thing that you said, if he's great, keep him here. We see running backs fall off the cliff. From 1 year, they're all pro. The next year, it looks like they're done. Todd Gurley's 25 years old. Now he's begging the Ravens for a veteran minimum contract. He's 26, actually. And it already looks like his career is maybe shot, Bob.
Not too long ago, he was a really good running back. Not too long. I mean, how many years ago are we talking? It was just not long ago.
That's what I mean. And after he went to a Super Bowl, the Rams gave him $60 million. And from the second he signed it, it was a bad deal. He drove it off the lot, the car, and it broke down right away.
What about Derrick Henry?
So exactly. So you're going to find guys that are probably once in a lifetime. Now, maybe that might be a stretch with Henry. Right. You'll find guys that are exceptions to the rule. He's one of them, I think.
Yeah.
Is Najee Harris a guy that was, well, Henry was a second-round pick, so maybe you're right. But the point is, you might even have to resist the temptation, if Harris is really good, to sign him to a long-term deal.
Right.
Just because of the shelf life of running backs.
And it gives you options. But to me, they're going to get as much out of him starting now. It's not going to be a case of waiting. He's going to get the ball, and he should get the ball in various kinds of ways. Let's go to John in Huntington. What's up, John? How are you?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, John.
Hi.
Hey, I got a question. I was watching the game today, and I'm aware of the baseball rules that the losing team batting after the 4.5 or 5 innings, it becomes an official game.
Mm-hmm.
In the 8th inning, the Dodgers proceeded to score a run with runners on base, and the game was suspended. Without the Pirates batting in the 8th, why does that revert back to the 7th inning and make it a 5-3 game instead of a 6?
No, wherever it ends, and if they call it, that's the way it ends. Once it gets past 4.5 innings, it's an official game. So the thing is, though, that could have continued. And thanks, John, for the call. I think Andrew made a good point there. I didn't see the reason why they had to immediately say, well, that's it, we're done, fly on. Pirates got to go out of time. The LA has to fly back to LA. But so what? You get the game in when you can, especially if it was a significant game. I don't know if they would have done the same thing if it was a significant game. And it is significant to the Dodgers, and it could be significant to the Padres, Andrew.
I just can't see, too, if the shoe's on the other foot. If the Pirates are up 6-3 in the top of the 8th inning in L.A., and it's an afternoon getaway game, that the Dodgers just say, well, Mother Nature intervened. I guess we got to take the loss here. I just can't fathom that. And people are trying to say, well, there's all these players association, I don't know, clauses or rules. I'm not completely up to speed on how that's evolved in the last couple of years, but it just seemed premature to me. And the Pirates seem to be okay with it, which is the other part of it. All right, we lost, so be it.
All right, let's go out to Fred in North Huntington, line 3. Fred, you're on the Nightly Sports Call. Go right ahead.
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, a couple things about the Steelers. Andrew, I heard your 5 biggest question marks today coming in about the Steelers. I can't disagree with anything that you said, but I'd like to add something to the list. I've been harping on this the past couple of years. Their special teams has been horrible. I think it starts with the coaching. I don't think the coaching's been any good as far as the special teams. They don't have the players. They don't have a threat on special teams, and I think that they need to really, really improve that situation. And the other thing I wanted to mention, too, is they're talking about Juju Smith-Schuster going to the outside, and I think that's a question this year also. I think he has something to prove if he thinks he's going to catch, 80, 90, 100 balls on the outside. I don't think he's the same receiver out there.
Well, that's the problem with that is that he may not get the they have outside guys, and they have somebody who is effective by name is Juju Smith-Schuster in the slot. So I don't know how that's going to work out, but you don't want to squelch the growth of a guy like Chase Claypool, and you have Deontay Johnson who makes what? I mean, you don't see him going to the outside on a regular basis, do you?
Juju?
Yes.
Well, I'm concerned that that whole interview, and some of those comments had been made earlier in the offseason, but they were made in Pittsburgh for the first time this week. The thing about going outside that bugs me as a Steeler, if I'm a Steelers fan, is he almost sounded like a guy that, is coming across like he did the Steelers a favor by taking this one-year deal, and now they owe him something. Like there's a trade-off here, like there's a quid pro quo. You know that expression, Bob?
Yeah.
I scratch your back, you scratch mine. If I come back here and take less money to stay, you better make it worth my while. So I want my touches and I want him on the outside to prove to everybody that I can play that way. That's how he came off to me. And what would really tick me off is when he was asked, well, okay, so if you're going to play in the outside, what happens to the slot? And he goes, well, Ray McLeod is going to go in there and play. Oh, he's the offensive coordinator and head coach now.
Yeah, that's
what that to me,
as soon
that
as
was
I heard
way
that,
overstepping his bounds.
I agree
big
with
time.
that. I agree, and he's not going to make that decision. They are better off with him in the slot. He's created that. You could say he's a victim of his own success because he was successful there, and they need that as well as the outside.
Well,
now,
that's
not to say that he can't go because he's shown that he does have the ability. And I remember a couple of breakaway runs that led to 90-yard touchdown passes. So he does have the capability. But what's better for the team is the number one issue with me.
Exactly. And you're putting him in the slot because you're trying to get your best wide receivers on the field, and that's the best time or the best way to get Johnson and Claypool out there too. What I thought he contradicted himself though when he said, "But everything will take care of itself if we win a championship, or if we compete for one." So why not just say that right off the bat? Why get caught up in where you play and what kind of playmaker you are? If you're going to get paid, if you're part of a championship team, then go in the slot, make clutch plays, make the tough catches, and get your money this offseason.
Yeah. Listen, there's still a market for someone who's very reliable on third downs. That's a stat that they look at, especially a lot of teams that need that kind of player. All right, it's time for our Tri-State Office Finisher tweet of the day from somebody named Andrew Fillipponi, and here it comes. He said, and that's I'm legitimately hyped to watch Dwayne Haskins in the preseason. I'm glad we need the viewership. Thank you very much, Andrew. Knowing full well that preseason football is a mirage. No, it isn't. I just so badly want the guy to be great and give the Steelers a cheap franchise quarterback. I want him to be great because I like competition at the most important position. So that's your tweet of the day, Andrew. Thank you for that. When we come back, more calls on the way right here live on Pittsburgh CW.